Welcome back to another video. Today's topic is getting your life back after narcissistic abuse. A lot of us are in this situation to where you are in the midst of this and you can't even see a possibility of getting your life back because everything is so chaotic right now. Your nerves are so rubbed raw. You're still angry and bitter and confused. And this entire situation is basically driving you crazy. One of the problems when you're in that mode is you feel like you will not ever get your life back. You feel like everything has been destroyed, everything has been devastated, that any semblance of being able to get a life back is completely gone, and you're just a shell of yourself. You're sitting there in a situation and you're looking at what's happened. You're looking at what your ex has done. You're looking at how people have maybe turned against you. You may even be looking at how your children are turned against you, and you feel like it has corrupted and devastated every aspect of your life. Now, the first thing I want to say is you have every right to feel like that. You have every right to be experiencing those emotions and feelings, and your life has changed. It is not the same as it was before, and it's not going to be as you ever imagined it. But that does not mean that your life is over. That does not mean that everything has been destroyed without any possibility of recovery. This does mean that the way you used to think your life was going to be, what you envisioned prior to this, that is effectively dead. And you have to mourn that. You have to go through that. You have to process that. And that's a critical aspect of this entire process. And you can't really get to the other side until you do that. But that does not mean that the rest of your life is destroyed. It doesn't mean that you can never have joy, that you can never trust people again, that you can never find love, that your kids will never come back to you. I mean, whatever the scenario is, it is so easy to get wrapped up into thinking and feeling that this moment today, the way you are today, is going to define the rest of your life. And that is not true. It is not the way it's going to be. I say this from experience. This is absolutely not easy. I get that. And I remember sitting in this very room that I'm in right now filming this video, feeling like the pain that was in my heart would never go away and I would never be able to regain even a small part of joy and happiness. I felt that cancer that was growing inside my soul from this relationship was going to devour everything and never allow me to escape it. Well, I'm here to tell you and here to be an example that that isn't the case. That isn't true. It was only as true as long as I believed that, thought that, and gave my ex the power to continue to corrupt my life and corrupt my outlook on my future. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be easy because it's not going to be easy. This isn't something that you can just pick up in an instant. You have to stop and think about what you're doing. You have to slow yourself down. You have to decide that you've had enough, that you are not going to play this game anymore, that you are not going to allow these toxic people to have the amount of control that they have over your life. You get to the point that you say, enough is enough. And even then, it's still hard. I remember when I got to that point, when I did have enough, and I'm like, my God, I just want this to go away. I don't want to feel this anymore. And I still couldn't find my way through it. The thing is you can find your way through this. Whatever your situation is, no matter how bad it is, you can always basically take a step back and decide that you are going to basically hit the reset button on your life, start over, starting today, re-baseline, and start building again. When you do that, when you are able to release that past, when you're able to release the past future that you thought you had, or your plan of way you thought things were going to go, it's liberating and it really changes your life. I had to let go of a lot of things. I had to let go of the retirement. I had to let go of family and friends. I had to let go of the illusion of being with my soulmate that I was going to be with that person for the rest of my life, that we were in this together. Well, as you guys know, you're not in it together. When you're with a toxic person who's fixated and self-absorbed, fixated on themselves and self-absorbed, it isn't a team going against the world. You're trying to make it work, and they're trying to consume everything they possibly can. But when you get to the point that you say, okay, enough is enough, you start working on yourself, you start changing the way you focus, it changes your life. And it changed mine, and it will change yours. I know I've said this before, but the way things are today, I could have never imagined getting to this point. I didn't think it was possible. I thought there were a few stages as things got better, like even like 3 or 4 years ago, around the time I even started this channel. I thought that was the best it was going to be. And I thought it was okay. The pain was numbed. It wasn't consuming. It wasn't occupying every moment of my day. And I was able to start feeling like I was living again. But what I will tell you, over the course of the last couple of years, it's continued to get better. The effect that the ex has on me has even diminished more. My joy and my excitement for the future continues to increase. Now, is this because something changed? Is it because I had some significant victory? No, it's not. I've said this before, but everything is pretty much the same way it was. Minus, granted, I have one kid, well, almost 2 kids that have basically fallen off, or 2 kids that have fallen off. So money has changed a little bit, but I mean, it's the same thing. She still doesn't work. I'm still paying for the 2 households. You know, my retirement has still been destroyed. She still is, with her little flying monkey group, has people that think she's the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. None of that stuff has changed. What's changed is my attitude and the way I look at this, the way I approach things, what I put priority in, and what I value. The thing is, I don't care about what she thinks about me anymore. I don't care what the flying monkeys think about me anymore. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Once you start to let that go and you start to take that energy that you had focused towards your ex and towards everyone else, things start to change. Things start to get better. And the best part about it is that time that you were spending, you can now do something else with. You can work on yourself. You can create a YouTube channel. You can do whatever the heck it is you want that brings joy and happiness into your life. It gives you more time to focus on, if you have access to your kids, to focus on building a relationship with your kids. At some point, you have to change the focus away from all of them and work on rebuilding your life, whatever that life is. For instance, let's say hypothetically she took the kids, was able to go out of state, and let's say today I was at the point where I never got to see my kids. I would have to make my peace with that, let it go, keep the door open in case the kids ever wanted to have a relationship with me again, but I couldn't keep focused on it. It would destroy me if I did. Sometimes you have to take, like I said at the beginning of this video, you have to take a reset, re-baseline your life, and start over. It's really frustrating. It's not what you wanted to do. It's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I envisioned. I had a whole different life that I envisioned. Now, what I will tell you today is that life that I envision now is honestly hundreds of times better than what I ever imagined with my ex. Because being in that environment, being in that toxic environment, constantly being covertly put down, constantly being just whittled away to the nub, was destroying me. I mean, I had no excitement for the future. I had no joy. It was constant stress, constant chaos. Every once in a while, there'd be a breadcrumb of attention, but it was all fake. And I knew it was fake, and it always gnawed at the back of my head. These situations are incredibly difficult, but in a lot of ways, it's a gift that allows you to get the life that you ultimately deserved, with genuine people, with genuine emotions, with genuine experiences, instead of this toxic garbage that you've been living with, like in my situation, for 2 decades, over 20 years. It doesn't matter if this was a 2-year relationship or a 50-year relationship. When you finally get to this point where you're like, holy crap, something has been wrong, and you work through that pain and you are able to get a real life, it's better than you ever could imagine. Now, I know a lot of you in the midst of this are thinking you are insane. There is no way that what you're saying is true. Just listen, think about it, listen to it, ponder this possibility. And just imagine for a moment that when you get to the other side, that's what's waiting for you on the other side of this, what you are going through right now, this nightmare you're going through. Hang in there. There is a better life after all of this. I've known people who have been members of this channel who've lost all access to their kids. Their kids have been completely alienated against them, but they still have been able to take what I've been talking about and use it to transform their life to get their joy back. I'll tell you that it drives their narcissistic ex crazy because they want them to be miserable. They want them to live in that chaos, and they want them to live under the thumb of control that they have exerted over them, that they've exerted over us for all this time.